really exciting, actually. We have been trying to work with plasma fields for a long time, and to come up with a very small size battery-powered plasma device was very complicated, because plasma generation requires a lot of power. But we managed to find now a perfect solution for this. So this tube is a special tube that emits, it's filled with argon gas. So it's one of the noble gases. It's driven by high voltage, basically like a Tesla plasma device. It works on the highest frequency that is available, that is safe. It works in the higher violet, ultraviolet C kind of frequencies. Ultraviolet C is a disinfection agent, as you know. And in surgical instruments and hospitals, they use ultraviolet to disinfect the surgical tools and things like that. But ultraviolet C, which is the highest frequency, is actually found to be one of the safest ultraviolets to the body, whether it's the skin or the eyes, although we don't recommend to look at it directly also, because it's quite powerful. But because it's such a short frequency, a short wave, it doesn't penetrate deep in the skin to damage it like the A or B. And also it doesn't pass beyond the liquid of the eye, so it doesn't penetrate deep enough to cause any damage. So it's one of the safest ones. But let us talk about now etheric and psychic protection, because this is really the area where most people who are involved in healing, whether for ourselves or for people we work with, we are looking always for ways to deal with the etheric and the psychic levels of protection and healing and clearing, actually. And there hasn't been that many devices that work on this level. But here in this case, this device was developed specifically to deal with this level. Ultraviolet, most lower vibrational energies or lower vibrational interferences happen to us through the lower colors, like they call it lower astra. In other words, the infrared range. So below the red color. So that's below the physical level. It enters through the infrared. The ultraviolet is such a higher frequency. It's the highest, beyond the highest visual frequency, that it prevents any of the lower vibrational energies or interferences from having an effect. Because now suddenly we raise the frequency and the vibration of everything around us, and we created this high frequency shield that will prevent any of the lower vibrational resonances to form and to create a standing wave or a stable base in the space. So our influence now will be more of this harmonious electromagnetic field that's in the ultraviolet range that will prevent any of the lower vibrations to come in. Also, because it raises the vibration of everything around us now, whether it's the furniture, it's the walls, it's everything in the space, it actually disinfects that space energetically as well as physically. The ultraviolet C is a disinfectant against viruses and bacteria and things. So this is actually, in its simplest application, can be used as a disinfection for the room, disinfection for the hands. We would use it to pass it on the hands instead of using alcohol. You can, if somebody wounds themselves, if you cut yourself, you can actually use it to disinfect it so that it basically kills bacteria and viruses and pathogens and things like that, in addition to the energetic functions. So we have now two functions, two modes of operation of this. One of them, it's a Bluetooth device as well, so we can connect it with the tablet, and then we have all the libraries, lists of libraries for the healing frequencies. We can send it through this. So it's not only creating just one fixed field, but now suddenly we can start creating vibrational fields with specific frequencies that can have different functions. There are frequencies to block negative energies. There are frequencies to for protection. There's frequencies to turn negative energies into positive energies and so on. So there is whole libraries of these functions. according to what we need to do. These libraries also are scannable with the Mandala scan, so we can also check and see which is the ideal one to use, and then send it by Bluetooth to this device. And then it will emit it. We have a range up to 40 megahertz. So from 1 hertz to 40 megahertz, we can actually, or that is 3 hertz, I think. Yeah, from 3 hertz to 40 megahertz, that's quite a high range of frequency. The battery lasts for quite a bit of time. And also it has an audio trigger mode, and this one also is very, very important function. So like in the case of the light alchemy and in the wand, we can actually trigger this by using sound healing files. So there are actual audio files, MP3 files that have very complex sounds that are healing, whether it's there are libraries of sounds that have specific functions in the physiology as well as energetics. And we have the list of that that will be available as well. And you play that sound through the speaker. You input it through the back, yes, through the headphone and input here, and then we will have the ultraviolet tube output, that vibrational sound into a light sound as well, pulsing by the sound. This light as well, because of its nature, it emits ozone, but a very small amount of really healthy ozone, which is, as you know, ozone is active oxygen. In a small amount, it is disinfectant, and also it's quite beneficial to be exposed to it on the correct amounts. But so there is a disinfection from both the ozone function as well as the ultraviolet function, and that fills up the space with a very beneficial and pure healing environment as well. This device, actually, you can physically move it around if you scan the body with it, you can actually feel when there's blocks in the energy when you're passing it by. It's quite powerful, and you can feel it physically. Sometimes when you feel emotional connection, something triggering you emotionally, or some thoughts that are kind of remaining and kind of bothering you, when you work on this above the crown and above the third eye, around the head as well, you can actually feel it stopping that. You can feel immediately that you get relief from it. If you work around the heart and the front and the back, if it's an emotional issue, you pretty much, it's almost like cutting the cords, cutting the connections with that specific thought or that specific emotion, and you can feel the relief pretty strongly. You can scan the whole body with it to realign the body again. Let's say you've been in a busy environment, in a big lineups or in a crowded space, and you came out of that crowded space in an airport or something. And when you scan around your body completely, you can actually feel that you've cleared up your vibration and raised it and cut any of the energetic pollution that we would have